Hello, everyone. I wanted to share something that God has been working in me and on me with, and that is simply love. God's love. We know that God is love, and therefore, because He is love, He's going to always be reminding us to love like Him, to become more like Him, to take on His characteristics, and to move with intention in love. And in everything we do, we bring love, which just simply means we're bringing God in everything that we do. And so when I think about just the different types of love, you have the eros, which is like the romantic love. You have the Philito. I might be jacking the name up. Forgive me. But the friendship love, the storge, which is like your family, that type of love. But then you have agape, which is the unconditional love. The only love that equals Christ, right? That equals God above all. It is the highest level of love, right? Because it's unconditional. It breaks every barrier. It doesn't matter what happens. You're yet loved. And I have been just struggling in my flesh, right? So that spiritual warfare battle within the mind going on with how am I showing up in love? And what I perceived to be love, or what I felt I was giving, I thought I was giving God in love. But what God had to show me on yesterday is no, you were giving self. You were giving flesh. I wasn't giving God. I wasn't giving that love that tears down the walls, that softens the heart. I was given a stern love. It was with great intention on my end, and I thought that I was giving it in a way that could be edible. However, it wasn't. And God had to show me, once I removed my pride out the way and I humbled myself and I came to Him and I just asked Him, I came to a point where it was just like, Lord, I need you. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why this is not clicking. I don't know why my child can't understand when I'm telling her something. I don't know why my husband is not perceiving or understanding. I'm coming from a good place. And all he could tell me, all he kept telling me was love, love. And I had just been really pondering on that word restoration. And so I looked up the definition of restoration, and it states that it's to take something back to its original state. So when you think of like people finding like old furniture and restoring it back to its original state, I'm like, well, do things really ever go back to its original state? Like once trust is broken, or once, let's just say you fell off a bike, right? Like your leg's still gonna be hurt and it'll heal eventually, but you still have a scar. So it's still really not going back to its original state. So how can, these conversations or the things that I've experienced, or I might be irritated with, like, how does it go back to its original state? And all God kept telling me is love, love. So what finally clicked for me is, oh, I get it. It's not that the situation is going to go back to what it was, sort of thing that I'm wanting to change, or, oh, I remember how it used to be this. No, it doesn't ever have to go back to that. But what has to happen is God coming back into the picture, me establishing and putting Him at the center of it. That's bringing it back to its original state. When we allow God to step in and do His great work, that is what completes it. That is what restores it and brings it back. And that is what He was trying to show and share with me. Like, yeah, you're not getting it because you're too wrapped up in you trying to do it. And you left me out of it. But you claiming that you have me in it. But I'm definitely not in it because you wouldn't be this way. You should be at peace. There's a peace that comes with things when God is in control, when He is leading your fight. There's a calmness to it. There's a order to it. But when it's you doing the work, when it's you trying within your will and what you perceive to be love, there's always chaos. Nothing ever is settled or handled right. And so I just wanted to share that because that was something he had to show me and bring to my attention. So I hope this helped someone. There were scriptures I got to go with that too, especially in Romans where he talks about brotherly love, in 1 Peter, in Thessalonians, in Hebrews. Like, it is all over scripture, God talking about a brotherly love. And that is the love that we're supposed to be showing to one another and displaying to one another. And yes, discernment comes with that, but that is God's whole heart, right? That is who he is, love. So that's something he's constantly instilling and putting in us. So that's all I have. Hope it blessed someone.